What did you write there?
That is a website that I need to redirect because I found out that it's about 5 years outdated.
Well, what's the website that's no good anymore?
No, well, it's actually timferriss.com.
Tim Ferriss. Okay, so while we're on the topic of Tim Ferriss, you're a highly influential human being who recommends things like the 4-hour work week, the 4-hour body, the 4-hour chef. Mm-hmm. What's the rush? Because to me, a work week should be as filled with fun and exciting, dynamic things as possible. Why only 4 hours?
What I'm focused on is A, helping people to be effective, choose the right things to focus on based on their objectives, and then secondly, maximize the output. Let's just say try to 10x the output of each hour, which would then lead 40 to become 4, but you have the same output. So in my case, I'm simply hoping that people will, if they decide to work hard, they will have the proper focus. But I'm actually very much in the camp of maximizing experience. And there are cases where people love exactly what they're doing and they want to do it as much as possible. And I have no bone to pick with that whatsoever. But it's the masses who are living lives of quiet desperation that have a set of assumptions that are really self-imposed in many cases, or at least not tested, that lead to them sticking to a particular, say, path or career or relationship, fill in the blank, for 10, 20, 30 years. And I want to provide them with a toolkit so that they can at least start to pick apart their assumptions and stress test some of those limitations.
How do we know that the masses are living lives of quiet desperation?
Because I have hundreds of thousands and millions of people tell me exactly that.
This brings us to the point, which is, it's oftentimes what you do, not how you do it.
By desperation, I mean people feel trapped or limited in certain ways, and they don't know what to do or what not to do to solve that problem. So for me, it's like I don't make a claim to be the person with the answers. My job, as I view it, is to experiment, to be the guinea pig, to test a lot of things so that I can then share the cliff notes of people who really know what they're doing and have sussed out some of these questions.
So that's an interesting role. How did you become the world's guinea pig?
I was born premature. I had a lot of health problems growing up, and I was puny. I was a really small kid. I got beat up a lot, and that went up until 6th grade, but my mom had some foresight, or she realized that it was really demoralizing and I was the runt of the litter. She put me into something called kiddie wrestling. All right, why kiddie wrestling? Because then you can have the 60-pound weenies fighting the other 60-pound weenies, and one of them will end up feeling like the king of the hill.
Okay, so here you are, the world's guinea pig. How do you boil it all down so that people who don't have 2 or 3 hours now to listen to your podcast, or don't have time to read your new book, The Tools of Titans, which is dense, big. What have you learned that you want people to be able to take away right now, that there's one thing that they can do to turn their day around that might then turn their week, month, and life?
All right, so first would be 30 grams of protein within 30 minutes of waking up. That consistently helps a lot of people lose 10 to 20 pounds in, say, 1 to 2 months.
Wow.
That's it.
Okay.
Number 2, real quick, would be to add coconut oil, 1 or 2 tablespoons, to your coffee or tea. This helps with cognitive function and can help fat loss.
Okay.
Okay. Then last, you want to do some type of guided meditation. Listen to free audio for 10 minutes each morning, first thing before you check email, and that'll change the whole situation.
Eat protein, drink coconut oil, and listen to stuff. I feel a lot better. You?
Oh, I feel great.
Good.
I feel great.
Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank you.